This might be a little controversial, but what if I told you that some of the most powerful inflammation-crushing weapons in your arsenal aren't found in a pharmacy or a doctor? In fact, what if the very foods you've been told to avoid or limit could actually be the key to activating your body's most sophisticated defense systems? I'm talking about a revolutionary approach that goes beyond simply eating healthy. This is about understanding how specific foods contain bioactive compounds that can literally reprogram your cells, starve cancer before it starts, and dial down the chronic inflammation that's silently wreaking havoc on your body right now. Here's what most people don't realize. Your body already has an incredible built-in pharmacy. You have natural defense systems that are more sophisticated than any drug ever created. But here's the catch. These systems need the right fuel, the right bioactives, to function at their peak. And that's where food as medicine comes in. Today, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating world of cancer-starving foods that can transform your health from the inside out. We're talking about foods that contain compounds so powerful they can influence your DNA, strengthen your immune system like an army of microscopic soldiers, and even help repair damage that's been building up for years. Think of chronic inflammation as a fire that has been smoldering in your body for months or even years. No, chronic inflammation is like having that fire department permanently stationed in your tissues, constantly spraying water when there's no fire to put out. This creates collateral damage to healthy cells and creates an environment where cancer cells can thrive. But here's the incredible part. The right foods can act like a master switch, turning down this inflammatory response while simultaneously activating your body's natural cancer-fighting mechanisms. It's like having a thermostat for your health, and you can learn to adjust it. Let me introduce you to some of the most powerful players in this health-defending lineup. First up, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and kale. But let me tell you what's really happening at the cellular level that makes these foods so extraordinary. These vegetables contain a bioactive compound called think of sulforaphane as a master key that unlocks a genetic pathway called NRF2. This pathway is like having a personal bodyguard for every single one of your cells. When sulforaphane activates NRF2, it's essentially telling your cells to ramp up production of their own antioxidant and detoxification enzymes. It's like upgrading your cellular security system from basic locks to a state-of-the-art alarm system. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Sulforaphane doesn't just protect your cells, it actively seeks out and destroys abnormal cells that could become cancerous. It's like having microscopic quality control inspectors walking through your body, identifying cells that don't belong and marking them for elimination. Studies have shown that people who eat cruciferous vegetables regularly have significantly lower rates of colon, lung, and breast cancers. Now, here's a pro tip that most people don't know. The way you prepare these vegetables matters enormously. When you chop or chew broccoli, for example, you're breaking down cell walls and allowing an enzyme called myrosinase to convert glucoraphanin into that powerful sulforaphane I mentioned. But here's the catch. Heat destroys so if you're boiling your broccoli to death, you're missing out on much of its cancer-fighting potential. Instead, try this. Lightly steam your cruciferous vegetables for no more than 3 to 4 minutes, or better yet, eat some of them raw. You can also chop them up and let them sit for about 10 minutes before cooking. This gives the enzyme time to do its work before the heat inactivates it. Let's talk about another powerhouse food that's been criminally underestimated. Mushrooms. Not just any mushrooms, but varieties like shiitake, maitake, and oyster mushrooms. These aren't just delicious additions to your stir-fry. They're loaded with beta-glucans, which are like training programs for your immune system. Think of beta-glucans as drill sergeants for your immune cells. They don't just boost your immune system randomly. They make it smarter and more precise. They help train your natural killer cells, which are like elite special forces units that patrol your body looking for cancer cells and virus-infected cells. When these natural killer cells encounter a target, they release toxic granules that eliminate the threat without damaging surrounding healthy tissue. But mushrooms do something even more remarkable. They help balance your immune response. See, inflammation isn't always bad. It's your body's natural response to threats. The problem is when it becomes chronic and misdirected. Mushrooms contain compounds that act like wise counselors to your immune system, helping it distinguish between real threats and false alarms. Research has shown that people who eat mushrooms regularly have a 45% lower risk of developing breast cancer. That's not a small difference. That's a life-changing reduction in risk. And here's what's even more exciting. These benefits seem to be dose-dependent, meaning the more mushrooms you eat, the greater the protective effect. Now, let us dive into the world of polyphenols. These are the colorful compounds that give fruits and vegetables their vibrant hues, and they're absolute superstars when it comes to fighting inflammation and cancer. Foods like blueberries, pomegranates, green tea, and dark chocolate are packed with these bioactive compounds. Polyphenols work like molecular switches throughout your body. They can turn on genes that promote health and longevity, while turning off genes that promote inflammation and cancer growth. Take resveratrol, found in red grapes and red wine. This compound activates something called sirtuins proteins that regulate cellular health and longevity. But here's where it gets really interesting. These polyphenols also have the ability to cut off blood supply to potential tumors through a process called cancer cells are like any rapidly growing tissue. They need a blood supply to survive and thrive. These compounds essentially starve potential cancers by preventing them from building the highway system. They need to get nutrients. Green tea deserves special mention here. The main bioactive compound, EGCG, is like a Swiss Army knife for your health. It reduces inflammation, protects your DNA from damage, and even helps activate your body's natural detoxification systems. Studies have shown that people who drink green tea regularly have lower rates of several types of cancer, including breast, prostate, and colorectal cancers. Now, let me address a common misconception. Many people think that to get these benefits, you need to take supplements or drink gallons of green tea. That's not true, and it might even be counterproductive. Your body is designed to work with the complex matrix of compounds found in whole foods, not isolated extracts. Here's a practical tip. Aim for variety and color in your diet. Different colored foods contain different families of polyphenols, and they work synergistically. The deep purple of eggplant contains niacin, which protects your brain cells. The bright orange of carrots provides beta-carotene, which supports your immune system and protects your skin from UV damage. The rich red of tomatoes gives you lycopene, which is particularly protective against prostate cancer. Let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids, particularly those found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These aren't just good fats. They're essential building blocks for your body's anti-inflammatory machinery. Think of omega-3 south as the raw materials your body uses to manufacture its own anti-inflammatory compounds called Here's fascinating. Your body can literally transform these omega-3 fatty acids into molecules that actively resolve inflammation. These specialized pro-resolving mediators don't just turn off inflammation. They actively promote the healing and repair of damaged tissues. But there's more. Omega-3 SAO also influence the fluidity of your cell membranes. Think of your cell membranes as the walls of your house. If they're too rigid, nothing can get in or out properly. If they're too flexible, they lose their structural integrity. Omega-3 South help maintain the perfect balance, ensuring that nutrients can get in and waste products can get out efficiently. Research has shown that people with higher levels of omega-3 South in their blood have a 20% lower risk of developing colorectal cancer. They also have better cardiovascular health, improved brain function, and even better mood regulation. It's like these fatty acids are conducting a symphony of health throughout your entire body. Now, here is a pro tip that could dramatically increase the cancer-fighting power of your meals. Combine these foods strategically. When you eat tomatoes with olive oil, for example, you increase the absorption of lycopene by up to 400%. That's because lycopene is fat-soluble, and the healthy fats in olive oil act like a delivery system, carrying these protective compounds directly to your cells. Similarly, adding a pinch of black pepper to turmeric increases the absorption of curcumin turmeric's active compound by 2,000%. That's not a typo. The piperine in black pepper acts like a molecular escort, helping curcumin cross the barriers that would normally prevent its absorption. Speaking of turmeric, this golden spice deserves its own spotlight. Curcumin, the bioactive compound that gives turmeric its characteristic color, is like a molecular peacekeeper in your body. It doesn't just reduce inflammation. It is one of the most potent, natural anti-inflammatory compounds we know of, sometimes outperforming pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs in studies. But curcumin does something even more remarkable. It can influence cancer cells at multiple stages of their development. It's like having a security system that works at every level, preventing detecting intruders, and eliminating threats. Curcumin can prevent DNA damage that leads to cancer, slow down the growth of existing cancer cells, and even trigger cancer cells to self-destruct through a process called Normal, healthy cells have a built-in expiration date. When they become old or damaged, they essentially commit cellular suicide for the greater good of the organism. Cancer cells have learned how to ignore this signal, which is part of what makes them so dangerous. Curcumin helps restore this normal cellular behavior. Let me address another common misconception: the idea that you need to completely eliminate all inflammatory foods to see benefits. This black and white thinking isn't just unnecessary. It can actually be counterproductive, because it leads to dietary stress and unsustainable restriction patterns. Instead, think about crowding out rather than cutting out. When you fill your plate with these powerful anti-inflammatory, cancer-fighting foods, you naturally have less room for the foods that promote inflammation. It's like renovating your house. You don't start by tearing everything down. You start by adding beautiful new elements. And gradually, the old stuff becomes less prominent. Here's what a day of cancer inflammation-crushing eating might look like. Start your morning with green tea and a bowl of berries with some chopped walnuts. The polyphenols in the berries work synergistically with the omega-3 south in the walnuts, while the green tea provides that gentle caffeine boost, along with powerful eat. For lunch, try a salad loaded with colorful vegetables. Think purple cabbage, orange carrots, dark leafy greens. Topped with some grilled salmon and dressed with olive oil and lemon. You're getting cruciferous vegetables, omega-3 south, polyphenols, and healthy monounsaturated fats all in one meal. It's like a symphony of bioactive compounds working together to optimize your health. Dinner could be a stir-fry with lots of mushrooms, broccoli, and bell peppers, seasoned with turmeric and black pepper, served over. You're getting beta-glucans from the mushrooms, sulforaphane from the broccoli, and the enhanced bioavailability of curcumin from the turmeric-pepper combination. Your body's defense systems respond to what you do most of the time, not what you do occasionally. If you're re-eating these powerful foods regularly, even if it's not every single meal, you're retraining your body to be more resilient, more resistant to disease, and more capable of healing itself. Many of these bioactive compounds we've been discussing work through hormetic mechanisms. They create just enough cellular stress to activate your body's adaptive responses, like a vaccine that teaches your immune system how to fight more effectively. This is why variety matters so much. Different compounds create different types of beneficial stress, activating different protective pathways. It's like cross-training for your cells. The more diverse challenges you present to your cellular defense systems, the stronger and more adaptable they become. Let me share something that might surprise you. Your gut bacteria play a crucial role in how these foods work. They're magic. The trillions of microorganisms living in your digestive system can actually transform the compounds in these foods into even more powerful metabolites. For example, when you eat foods rich in ellagic acid, like pomegranates and berries, certain bacteria in your gut convert this compound into which has been shown to improve mitochondrial function and extend lifespan in animal studies. It's like having a biochemical factory in your gut that's constantly working to optimize the foods you eat for maximum health benefit. This is why taking care of your gut microbiome is so important. Eating a diverse array of plant foods provides the fiber and prebiotics that feed your beneficial bacteria, creating an environment where these transformative processes can happen effectively. Now, let's talk about timing and frequency. While consistency matters more than perfection, there are some strategic approaches that can amplify the benefits of these foods. For instance, consuming antioxidant-rich foods after exercise can help reduce exercise-induced inflammation and support recovery. It's like providing your body with the exact tools it needs at the moment it needs them most. Similarly, spreading your intake of these powerful foods throughout the day ensures that your blood levels of protective compounds remain relatively constant. Think of it like maintaining a steady supply of ammunition for your cellular defense systems rather than giving them everything at once and then leaving them depleted for hours. Here is another fascinating aspect. Many of these bioactive compounds can actually influence your genetic expression through a field called nutrition. This doesn't mean they change your DNA sequence, that's fixed, but they can influence which genes get turned on or off, like having a master control panel for your genetic potential. For example, sulforaphane from cruciferous vegetables can activate genes involved in detoxification while suppressing genes that promote inflammation. It's like having a genetic volume control, turning up the good stuff and turning down the harmful processes. This is particularly exciting when it comes to cancer prevention, because many of the genes involved in cancer development can be influenced by these dietary compounds. Let me address one more common concern: the idea that these foods need to be organic or expensive to be effective. While organic is great when it's accessible and affordable, the most important thing is eating these foods consistently, regardless of how they're grown. A conventionally grown blueberry still contains a regular tomato still provides lycopene. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. That said, there are some practical ways to maximize the benefits while minimizing costs. Frozen fruits and vegetables often contain just as many beneficial compounds as fresh ones, sometimes more, because they're frozen at peak ripeness. Canned fish, like sardines and salmon, are incredibly affordable sources of omega-3 south. Dried spices, like turmeric, maintain their bioactive compounds and are much more budget-friendly than fresh alternatives. Here's something else that's important to understand. Your body's response to these foods improves over time. Your cellular defense systems work the same way. The more consistently you provide them with these bioactive compounds, the better they become at utilizing them. You are not just treating symptoms or managing disease. You're actually upgrading your body's fundamental capacity to protect and heal itself. And here's the beautiful thing: the benefits compound over time. The research in this area is exploding. We're discovering new mechanisms almost daily for how food compounds interact with our cellular machinery. What we know today is just the tip of the iceberg. As we wrap up, I want you to think about this. You have more control over your health destiny than you might have realized. Every time you choose foods rich in these powerful bioactive compounds, you're actively participating in your own healthcare. You ain't not just feeding your hunger, you ain't feeding your body's incredible capacity for self-protection and healing. This isn't about restriction or deprivation. It's about addition and empowerment. It's about understanding that your fork is one of the most powerful tools you have for influencing your long-term health. Every meal is an opportunity to activate your body's natural defenses, to send signals of strength and resilience to every cell in your body. Maybe that's adding a handful of berries to your morning routine, or including a serving of cruciferous vegetables with dinner, or swapping out 1 cup of coffee for green tea. Small changes, practiced consistently, create profound transformations over time. Remember, your body wants to be healthy. It has sophisticated systems designed to protect you from disease and maintain optimal function. All these systems need is the right fuel, the right bioactive compounds, to work at their full potential. You're not fighting against your biology, you're working with it, supporting it, optimizing it. The future of medicine isn't just about treating disease after it happens. It's about preventing disease by empowering your body's natural defenses, and that future is available to you right now at your next meal. So here's my challenge to you. Start thinking of your kitchen as your pharmacy, your grocery store as your medicine cabinet, and your meals as your daily dose of prevention. Because when you understand how food works as medicine, you realize that the most powerful healing technology ever created is Anti-Inflammatory. It's in your body waiting to be activated by the foods you choose to eat. Your health is not predetermined. It's influenced by thousands of small choices you make every day. Choose to nourish your body's incredible capacity for health and healing. Your cells are listening, and they are ready to respond with remarkable power when you give them exactly what they need to thrive.